Well, domestic abuse is taking center stage right now in light of the Ray Rice elevator incident. But can a woman really defend herself from a potentially dangerous situation? This morning we have Counselor Joseph LeBeau, who says yes and will teach us how to refuse to be a victim. So good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Glad to be here.
Obviously, domestic violence does play a role in your seminars that you do throughout the country. So tell us a little bit more what people can do to sort of protect themselves, specifically women.
Well, women, in the area of domestic violence, I think the most important thing you can realize is that the issue here in many of the cases that I've seen as a counselor is dependency. What we have in these situations are two people who are really dependent on each other and unable to act as adults together in the relationship. I think it's an old saying, an old observation that before you can have a good relationship, you have to have two healthy, independent adults who come together. And in most of these family violence situations that have come to me in my practice as a counselor, that has not been the case. We've got two very unstable, or at least one very unstable and immature partner. So I'd say the first thing is to even in terms of years, you know, to give the maturation process a chance to take place before we get into intimate relationships.
Absolutely, but of course it doesn't just end with, you know, family violence. There's all sorts of other criminal cases that could happen to someone, and you need to be prepared for them. And you actually go into the mind of a criminal. Explain how you do that.
Well, at the beginning of the seminar, we ask folks, what does a criminal look like? You know, a lot of people have different ideas, and then, you know, as the discussion unfolds, pretty soon we begin to realize that, you know, any description is right, because it depends on the kind of crime, doesn't it? And maybe some crimes criminals will fit our stereotypes, but a lot won't. And so trying to look for the criminal in all of our environment is really not a very good strategy. What we recommend in the workshop is to think about different situations you're in during the day. When you use your car and you go to the mall and you go shopping, where do you park your car? Do you park it in a place where there's a lot of bushes and there's shade and there's a lot of places for people to hide to do you harm? Or do you do like I do when you come to the studio this morning? You look for a wide open space, well lit.
Right.
You make your way, look first, before unlocking your doors, look around the whole environment, make sure that you feel safe and good about it, and then proceed directly to your destination.
Right.
So there are things like that we do to prepare people. The seminar is really like a suit of armor you put on with a lot of preparation steps to help you be safe in the community.
Absolutely, and a lot more scenarios, a lot more in-depth conversations that are going to be happening at your seminar. Remind folks where this is going to take place and where they can call for information.
The Harlingen Parks and Recreation Department is sponsoring the event. It'll be the first Wednesday and the second Thursday of the next few months, all the way through December. It'll be held at two different locations depending on whether you want to go in the daytime or the evening. Just call the Harlingen Parks and Recreation Department and they'll give you the information on where to go and when.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll stick around. We're going to talk a lot more with you. We'll be right back with much more action for Sunrise.